Now we will see why Kannada is the most base 10 or decimal number system friendly language. So in such languages which are decimal number system friendly, we just need unique words to represent numbers 1 to 10, and then unique words to represent higher powers of 10 like 100, 1000, 10,000, any 10 power x. And rest of the word representation of numbers are derived using the combination of those unique words defined earlier, like 1 to 10, 100, 1000. Using them we can derive any other number, the word representation of the number. So the best example is Kannada, and English is pretty close with few exceptions. So for example, let's say 1 is represented by A, or this is a letter but assume it's a word, and 2 is B, 3 is C, and so on, 9 is I, 10 is J. So we don't have numbers, word representation for 20, 30 and all. We directly have 100 and 1000 and so on. So in Kannada, 13 is written as 10 plus 3. So for 10 we have this symbol J, and for 3 we have symbol C. So we combine them and use this 3 as a suffix to 10 and say JC. So JC stands for 13. So if suppose J was the word for 10 in Kannada and C was the word for 3, we will write it like this, JC. In English, 13 is written as 3 plus 10. Instead of JC, it's written as CJ. So in English, we can see that 13 is roughly a derivative of 3 plus 10. 3 plus 10 becomes 13. Similarly, 4 plus 10 becomes 14, 5 plus 10 becomes 15, and so on. So it's derived from these unique words written over here. It's not a new word coined to represent just 13. And in Kannada, 24 is written as 2 into 10 plus 4. So for 2 we have B, for 10 we have J, and for 4 we have D. So if we, in Kannada, if we do the suffixing, it is like adding, and if we do the prefix, it's like multiplying. So Bj implies J is 10, Bj implies B into J, that is 20 plus 4. This is how we write in the decimal notation, decimal number system also, the base 10 place value system. And English also, 24 gets written as in the same form, that is in Kannada BJD. In the previous case, in the 13, we see it's written as 3 plus 10. Now after 20s, the English format changes to just like what is written in Kannada in the same format, 2 into 10 plus 4. So we can roughly see that the word 20 is derived from 2 plus 10. 2 plus 10 becomes 20. Similarly, 3 plus 10 becomes 30. There is one extra y added, but otherwise it's like 2 plus 10, 20. Sounds close, but not like perfect. 13 is much closer derivation. This is a little further away, but it's the funda is the same. Then Tamil is the next closest. So we have looked at only a couple of languages, 4-5 languages, especially Indian languages plus Hindi. And in that, Tamil is the next closest. But it has one peculiarity where 90, 900 and 9000, wherever all these numbers close to the change of order of magnitude, they get named with reference to the powers of 10 closest to it. So that is 90 is represented in words as 100 minus 100 by 10, or 1/10 less than 100, or 9/10 of 100. It's not written as 9 times 10, which is just simply the decimal representation. The decimal way of writing 90 is 9 into 10, 90. But Tamil has this a little complicated way of representing 90 in words. Similarly, in Tamil, 900 is represented as 1000, 1/10 less than 1000, 1000 minus 1000 by 10, or 9/10 of 1000. It's not represented as 9 times 100 in words. Sanskrit in this case is more like a grouping by tens. It's not a base 10 system, it's a grouping by 10 system. So it has unique words to represent numbers from 1 to 10, but it also has unique words to represent multiples of 10, like 20, 30, 40, 90. They have unique words They are not derived from 20 is not like derived from 2 into 10, 30 is not derived as 3 into 10, but they have new words coined to represent them. And it also has higher words for higher powers of 10, like 100,000, any 10 power x. So for example, if we use this notation, say A is represented by 1, B is represented by 2, and so on. So this first line is similar to what we saw in the case of Kannada. But it also has unique words for 20, 30. So 20 is K, 30 is L in the case of Sanskrit. And up to 90, they have these new words coined for this. And of course, they have unique words for 100 and 1000 and so on, powers of 10. So this is the extra point. This 20, 30, 40, this represented by unique words. This is why it is grouping by 10. It's not a base 10 system, not a pure base 10 system. So for example, in Sanskrit, 24 is written as 4 plus 20, or DK. D stands for 4 and 20 is K. So it combines these two words, D and K, to make the word for 24 in Sanskrit. And it's not written as in the proper decimal format, 4 plus 2 into 10. In Kannada, 24 written as 2 into 10 plus 4, BJD, as we saw earlier. This is the perfect decimal notation. So this is reverse decimal, where for the least significant digit is first. Here the most significant digit will be first and then followed by least significant. So this grouping by 10 in Sanskrit is similar to Latin and Persian. Latin also has other peculiarities like 19, 29, 89. These numbers are named with reference to the multiples of 10 closest to it, just like in Hindi. Actually in Latin, even 18, 28, 88 are represented like that. But in Hindi, only 19, 29, 39 are represented like this. So for example, 19 is represented as 20 minus 1 and 29 is represented as 30 minus 1. Hindi is written in Hindi, numbers are written like this. Sanskrit has both these notations. In Sanskrit we write both the form 19 equals 20 minus 1. It has a word representation for this also, which is inherited by Hindi. And in older Vedic texts we have representation like 10 plus 9 instead of 20 minus 1. So this is why it's not exactly base 10 system, base 10 friendly language. And also in the so-called Hindu-Arabic base 10 system that is used today in the world, the most significant digit appears first in the left and the lesser significant digits appear to the right. So left to right we write the most significant first and go on. This is like how we write in Kannada and English representation. That is, say for example, if we have the number like 4321, it is written as in Kannada and English both, it's written as 4000 plus 300 plus 20 plus 1. So this is written, whatever is written in word is this representation, 4321 in English. So in this format, the good part is that we can gauge the order of magnitude as soon as we start reading the number from left to right. So the first letter we read, we know it's 4000. So we know the order of magnitude of this number we are speaking about. In Sanskrit, the order is reversed. The least significant digit appears first in the left and then the higher orders appears to the right. So that is 4321 is written in words as 1 plus 20 plus 300 plus 4000. So it may be I mean, in order to gauge the whole number we have to read the whole number. It's not like we get the order of magnitude or rough approximation just by reading the first word. So let's see some of the words and different languages that is used for these numerals. So 0 is not necessary for this, for the word representation, but we have anyway included. So 0 in English is 0. In Kannada it is sonne. In Tamil it's suli. Hindi and Sanskrit have shunya. Actually this sonne and shunya have pretty close words. So most people think this sonne is derived from Sanskrit, but it may not be necessary because there are many words close by to sonne in Kannada, uh, which can be a basis for derivation of this new word sonne just to represent zero. So for example, sone, there is a word called sone in Kannada, which means fine mist like. It is usually used for fine mist like rain. Sone male, male means rain, so it's used like very fine particles of drops of rain. It's called sone male. And also it has words like sanna. Sanna means small, and sanne means an apparatus to pulverize or powder or grind substances. So these are all close by words. Also, this shunya word, maybe in Proto-Indo-European, the word for sun is pretty close to this. It's like Schwan or something, which eventually becomes sonne in Austrian. In Austrian, sonne, just this proper pronunciation, sonne means sun. And in Proto-Indo-European, if we go back, the derived word is pretty close to shunya. So I don't know, maybe it's a Kannada word imported into Sanskrit. Let's see. But this is not the topic of this presentation. So in English it is one, in Kannada it's vandu, in Tamil it's vandru, in Hindi it's ek, and in Sanskrit it's ekam. So we see Hindi and Sanskrit have similar sounding words, but surprisingly the English, Kannada, Tamil have a similar word for this, one, ondu, onru. So it goes back to Latin. Actually it's uno or unos, something is used in Latin for one. So these are all sounding similar to that Latin word. So Dravidian and English and Latin have a common sounding one. So this is two in English, yaradu or irandu in Dravidian, Kannada and Tamil respectively. This is do in Hindi and twi or twe in Sanskrit. So tu, dwa or thwa, it's similar to, close by to Sanskrit. So it's written in shown, but also it's close to this two sound is can be close to this, the ending sound do sound here. This do sound here is also similar. So derivations can be complicated. It's just that, okay, we are not interested in the where the words were derived, or we are more interested in how it's used to represent the decimal number system. So any unique 1 to 9 can have any unique names. So we'll just run through them. This is 3, this is 4. So roughly we can see that Kannada and Tamil have very close sounding words. Similarly, Hindi and Sanskrit have close sounding words to each other. Sometimes English has words something similar to Dravidian, sometimes it has words similar to Sanskrit. So this 3 in English is pretty close to 3, traya or teen in Sanskrit and Hindi. So this is in Kannada it's aidu, in Tamil it's aindu. This 5 in English seems to be not related to any of this. This is 6, it's a unique word again for different number. Aru, this is also close aru. Here it's shasta, shashta and 6 may be sounding close, but this cha in Hindi it's called cha. It's roughly derived from this shashta, not very close, but yeah, roughly it's derived from that. And this is 7. So in Kannada it's elu, in Tamil it's elu, and this is in Hindi it's sat, and it is sapta in Sanskrit. So these are close by. 7 is also close. The word 7 in English is also close to the Sanskrit word. So this is one surprising word for 8 across this English, Tamil, Telugu, Telugu also, but Tamil, Kannada, Hindi and Sanskrit, they have a very similar sounding word. It's 8 in English, N2 in Kannada, Ettu in Tamil, At in Hindi, and Ashta in Sanskrit. So there are some theories which states that both Dravidian and this Sanskrit, there were both base 8 systems before acquiring more decimal character later. So that is why that's also maybe the reason they have some commonality in the words. And actually the 9, uh, the letter or the word 9 in English, or the now in Hindi and nava in Sanskrit, is almost means new. So it's like a new word introduced for the number 9, because it was ending at 8, ashta. So there was something new introduced, and so they have this kind of name, new or nava, 9. And also in Tamil and Kannada, the representation is of 9 is sort of weird. It's not a unique word, but it depends on the number for 10. It with reference is defined with reference to number 10. So in Kannada, it roughly means as 1 less than 10, ombattu. And same as in Tamil, it's roughly means as 1 less than 10. This is 9. 9 is 1 less than 10. So it's more like defined as just Vandu is 1, Vandu plus Hattu, Vambattu, Vandu plus Hattu, Vambattu. But it could also be that instead of Vandu, it's Una here. Una means a state of being deficient or incomplete or maimedness. So this Una is actually occurs in other Sanskrit and Latin also. So maybe it's Kannada got affected by it or whatever. But there was another older word for 9 in both Tamil and Kannada, which was used, but later possibly it was changed to this representation for whatever reason. Maybe it sounds better using this in future words, so that's why. Anyways, so this is about it. So this is 10. 10 is Hattu in Kannada, Pattu in Tamil, Das and Dasham. So we can see this Das and Dasham is not related to 10 at all. The Indo-European languages, the English does not have anything common. Like 5 and 10, they don't have anything common with these Sanskrit words in English. So now this is the interesting part, where the interesting part starts. So in English, 11 is written as this. It's a new word. It doesn't seem that it was derived from any of these words like 10 and 1 or something. But in Kannada, 11 is written as Hannondu. Hattu stands for 10, Vandu for 1. So Hattu Ondu, Hattu plus Ondu becomes Hannondu. It's like some kind of a combination, pretty close combination. Hattu Ondu becomes Hannondu. So it's derived from 10 and 1, or 10 plus 1. So similarly in Hindi, in Hindi it has this word Gyara, 11. So these are unique word. Again, one more unique word. It's not derived from, say, Das for 10 and Ek for 1 or something like that, similar to this English word. But in Sanskrit it has the derivation using these words for 10 and 1. Eka is 1, Dasha is 10, so Eka Dasha is 11. So 1 plus 10. In Kannada it's 10 and 1. In Sanskrit it is 1 and 10. But in Tamil also it's similar. Paninondru, it's like derived from 10 and 1. Padinondru. But in Hindi and English they seem to have a unique word for 11. So this 11 in English can be possibly like elevated 1. So it's not derived from 10, but it's something like elevated 1 or something like that. This Gyara may have a more complicated derivation from some other language, or combination of other languages or something. In English, 12 also has a unique word. So it's not like derived from 10 and 2. So it can be 2 elevated, like elevated 1. It can be 2 elevated 12, but it's a unique word. So 11 and 12 have unique words, and that's why these are the few exceptions that English has. But Kannada, it doesn't have. Kannada, it's the number word for 12 is derived from 10 and 2. Hattu, Eradu, Hannedu it becomes. Hattu for 10, Eradu for 2, Hattu, Eradu becomes Hannedu. Similarly in Tamil, it is Pattu, Irendu becomes Pannirendu, 10 and 2. So it's derived from these words for 10 and 2 already defined in the above thing. In Sanskrit also it's derived from these words above. So dve or dwa for 2 and dasha for 10. So dwa dasha is 12. So it's derived from this. But in Hindi it's not derived like Hindi. It's another unique word, just like in English. That 11 and 12 are unique words. But the possibly this word bara in Hindi is related with in Hindi the two appears, the do sound appears for two only in this 1 2 3 4, but in any other like 12 or 20 or other this ba sound is associated with 2. Possibly that's coming from say a Mundari language or some other language where 2 stands for Bariya, 12 stands from Gela Bariya. So this Bara may be inspired, this at least the Ba sound for 2 may be inspired from some Mundari language or some other language. And also this Ra actually comes from Persian. We'll see that later. The Persian for thus is Daha. So they are getting this Daha sound from Persian. It's not from thus here, defined here, but from Persian they are getting in a complicated way. So this G, Gyara may also be inspired from Mundari language or some sound changes that happened in between, that Ra become Gyara, something like that. So essentially, but they are like unique words. 11 and 12 in English and 11 and 12 Hindi. They are unique words and they are an exception. So they don't follow the perfect base 10 system where we would have written as either 10 plus 1 or 1 plus 10. So now we come to the 13, 14, 15. So up to 18. So this is how this is the same fashion it's written. In English it's written as 3 and 10, 4 and 10, 5 and 10, up to 19 also. 19 is 9 and 10. In Kannada, as we saw, it's the combination of 10 and 3, 10 and 4, 10 and 5. Hadi Moru. Hattu plus Moru is Hadi Moru. Hattu plus Nalku is Hadi Nalku. Hattu plus Aidu is Hadi Naidu. So it goes like that till 19. Same as Tamil and Kannada are related. So they have the similar words 10 and 3, 10 and 4, 10 and 5. In Hindi, it gets another new word, Tera. So 3 is somewhat, te is coming from 3 or teen, that is acceptable, but Ra is not in the defined word set of the Hindi itself in the numbers. And Sanskrit roughly follows this decimal system. It's a Trayo Dasha. 3 Tra means 3, Dasha is 10, so 3 10. Same as 14 Chatur Dasha and Pancha Dasha. They have this derivation 5 and 10. Only Hindi does not have. Hindi has the exception here. So English had unique words for 11 and 12, but after 13 it gets back to this form where 13, 14 and 15 are all derived from the previous words defined for 3 and 10, 4 and 10 and so on. So it gets back. So it had only 2 exceptions here before this, 11 and 12 words. In Hindi it's somewhat mixed, and this chauda can be defined as a derivative of 4 and 10, because 4 stands for chau stands for 4, das stands for 10, so char das can become chau da. So somewhat derivation, it's somewhat roughly we can say, that's why it's approximately 4 and 10, but otherwise tera and pandra and all are not derived like that. So 19 is one exception in Hindi. Another exception, the most exception, Hindi has the most exception, so 19 is another exception. Here it is defined as unnis. It doesn't have either word for 9 or 10 or anything. It's far away from that. It is written as unnis. It is more like 1 less from 20. In English it's not there. It's English 9 and 10. In Kannada it's 10 and 9. Hattombattu. Hattu plus ombattu. Hattombattu. And so on. And Sanskrit also has this form. In Sanskrit, 19 can also be written as Una Vimshati. So Una, 1 less than from 20. So Vimshati stands for 20. Una is like Una, the maimedness or the incompleteness. So it's also written as Eka Una Vimshati. So 1 less from 20, or it can be just written as Una Vimshati. So from this Una Vimshati, possibly this unnis has come. I mean, the funda for un is this una. because the word for 20 is bees. So Vimshati has got translated, it's not Vimshati has got translated into bees. This bees is coming directly from Persian. But this the word is coming from say Sanskrit. Un bees has become unnis, one less from 20. So now 20, after 20, the English system gets back to the same format as Kannada and Tamil. Here the direction was reversed, 3 and 10. It was 10 and 3 here, 3 and 10, but after 20 and after that there's no difference between Hindi and Kannada, English and Kannada. They both represent the proper decimal system. So 20 can be roughly thought of as derived from 2 and 10, 2 and 10, 20. And in Kannada also, actually it's derived from an old word for 2, which this E sound, ip. The actual sound for 2 is yaradu, but E sound is also used in many words, many other contexts, that this E word, which is similar to the archaic word in Tamil. So that is used. That's not a new name, that's a name for 2 and 10. Ippattu. Yaradu hattu ippattu it becomes, or irandu pattu becomes ippattu. Irandu pattu ippattu in Tamil. That's or here that ip sound for 2 is used. It's an archaic form. So it's exactly 2 into 10 in this. So this Vimshati we discussed. So bees is roughly 2 into 10. If we think that these things are coming from Persian or the B sound from Mundari or some other place it's coming. The bees word is exactly coming from Persian. So Hindi may have exactly took it from Persian, but the B sound, it's ba. That ba sound is used for 2 in Hindi. The ba plus das can also be bees. Ba das can be bees. Just like the later words which follow similar format. So 21 is 2 into 10 plus 1, 2 into 10 in English, similar format in Kannada, similar format in Tamil, 2 into 10 plus 1, 2 into 10 plus 2, 2 into 10 plus 3. In Sanskrit it's reversed, it's Eko Vimshati, it's 1 and 20. Eko is 1, Vimshati is 20, and 20 is a unique word, it's not a derivative 2 into 10, it's a new word, so that is why it's a grouping by 10, that's why it's described as grouping by 10. But Kannada is proper and Tamil is proper decimal system here, up to here. So there are so these words in Hindi are roughly derived from Hindi representation, but this bees is coming from Persian. So Eko is ik plus bees, ik bees becomes ikkis. This ba is again maybe a Mundari word or some other word. Ba plus bees is becoming bais, 2 and 20 and so on. So these are not exact, these are like groupings by 10, not the base 10 system. So okay, so and this is also not exactly derived. Say for example tera, this da for 10, so it may be derived from Persian, but it is not a defined word within Hindi number system itself, so we can consider it as a unique number. Tera can be derived from teen. The teen from Hindi and da from Persian can become tera, teen da, tera, or something like that. But other words, pandra can also be fine, choda can also be fine, but 12 is different, and bist is bees, it's coming from Persian. So on this funda 1 less than 20 for 19 is same as in this is Latin. So in Latin it's written as on viginti or something like that. It's 20. Vimshati, it's very close to this word Vimshati in Sanskrit, and una Vimshati is like this 19, 1 less than 20. Actually in Latin even 18 can be written as that, Dio do Viginti, 2 less than 20. and so on. So this makes it an exception. This is not an exactly base 10 system, and also it makes this naming system a little confusing, because this undecim means 1 plus 10, but undeventi means 1 minus 20. So there is some logical inconsistency in the naming, and also the direction changes both in English and in Latin. So for example, for 13 it's written as 3 plus 10 here, but when it comes to 23 it becomes 20 plus 3. The directionality changes from 3 plus 10 to 20 plus 3. So similarly we can continue. So this is 29 in Hindi. It has this exceptional format, one less from 30, and it is coming from una trimshat, but trimshat. So this is 13. Sanskrit, it is not derived from 3 and 10. Actually, in fact, shat is for 100. 3 it has word for 3 and 100, but it is actually meaning 30. It should have had dasha or something. It's not derived. It's a new word, so it's treated as a unique group 10 system. But in Kannada and Tamil it's not like that. In Kannada it's 3 and 10. In Muru is 3, Hattu is 10, Muru Hattu is Muvattu. So that is the derivation of 30 in Kannada, and 30 is 3 and 10 is 30 in English. So that's more like a base 10 system. So same case in 40 and 50. In 50, in Sanskrit word can be roughly thought of as derived from pancha, which stands for 5, and dasha, which stands for 10. Panchasha can be roughly thought of as 5 into 10, like in base, like what we expect in base 10 system. But these are all unique words like trimshat, chatarvimshat, and even 60, 70 and all. They have unique words grouping by 10 system. So we can see some of the clear derivation of these words in Hindi from Sanskrit. Like in 51 it becomes ikyavan, but there is no n sound in pachas, the 50 in Hindi, but n sound is there in panchash. So it's like it's mixed up here and there. It's not these words are not derived from the Hindi words, are not derived from the previous Hindi words defined here, but it's taking from everywhere. Sometimes it takes from Sanskrit, sometimes from Persian, or maybe Mundari or something else. So Hindi is mixed up, and it's the least decimal friendly system as we see it with all these examples. So 60, 70, 80 and 90 in Hindi, in English is pretty close to sounding like in Sanskrit. Shashti, it becomes 60, Saptati is 70, Ashiti is 80, Navati is 90. Maybe Sanskrit was inspired from some Latin or some other form here, because it's not consistent with whatever was defined. Trimshat, Chatvarimshat, Panchasha, these are completely different sound derivations, and these are completely different, and so there is some inconsistency here. But that is not there in English. In English, right from 20, 30, 40, it has the similar sounding words and similar kind of derivation. But in Sanskrit, it changes midway after 50. And there is no such inconsistency in Tamil and Kannada up to 90. So up to 90, Kannada does not, or Tamil especially, does not have any exception. But at 90, Tamil has an exception, where 90 is defined as tonnuru. Nuru stands for 100. So tonnuru is either 1/10 less than 100 or 9/10 times of 100. So that is 90. We had discussed this earlier in the first page. But in Kannada, it's like it's tombidi or tondu or something is older say Proto-Dravidian word or old Tamil word for 9. So it uses that, and it follows the form 9 and 10. Hattu is like Tondu plus Hattu is Tombattu. So this Tondu, old Tamil in old Tamil or old Kannada, it's 9 is also used, Tondu is also used as 9. So Kannada is taking from that older format. Like it took for 20 the older word for 2, here it's taking the older word for 9. So it's maintaining the consistency with the base 10 system. So that's all. So this is why Kannada is the, you can, maybe I explained a bit not very good, but the examples are there, you can read them. So this proves that Kannada is the most decimal friendly or the base 10 friendly system. Thank you.